And we are live.
All right. Let's do this.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Corrine Cosentino.
Don't be awkward.
I know. I mean, what else?
Yeah, you're my mom.
Okay.
You are a mother, a grandmother, a daughter, a sister. You grew up in Simi Valley
Yes.
for the most part. So I have a couple questions just to start off
Okay.
the conversation. What is your earliest memory?
My earliest memory is at a house we lived in San Fernando Valley, which was actually the city of Arleta. And we had a pool there. And I remember being a little kid swimming in the pool with my cousins and my grandparents and my parents around. I remember a backyard fun, like.
Who are your cousins?
The cousins that were there are my dad, Brian Behringer, his sister, Joanne Cash. She married Bert Cash. And so Uncle Bert and Aunt Joanne had Macy, April, and Brett. And they would come over. And so would my dad's parents, Henry Behringer and Olive Behringer. They would come over and we would all have like pool parties and
Barbecue or
barbecues. And so, but
How old do you think you were?
I definitely was 4, 5, 6, those ages. So those are
fun.
some early memories. That and I have another one.
Yeah.
I guess the earliest, I would say those are, but also being babysat by Lucia.
Who is that?
She was a lady who watched us, me and Kim, my sister, while Grandma and Grandpa, Brian Behringer, Teresa Behringer, were at work as a nurse and a fireman. So they had long shifts. And so she would be there for a long time, but I just really vividly remember her making homemade tortillas in like a stone bowl and how good they tasted after she heat them up on the pan. And I was probably the same age.
And did she watch you guys every day?
Every day that both parents had shifts.
Got it. A couple times a week.
I don't remember how often. She was there when my parents weren't.
When did she stop helping out?
I would say, I don't know exactly. We lived still in Arleta, and we moved from Arleta when I was 11. So sometime between then.
Sometime before 11.
Before 11.
And when you were little, what do you remember what you wanted to be when you grew up? If anything?
I wanted to do something with animals. I wanted to be like a veterinarian or some kind of marine, like take care of animals some way in marine. Like I loved Sandy, I can't think of it.
SeaWorld?
SeaWorld. I loved SeaWorld. I loved the zoo. I loved like all animals. So I just wanted to help animals some way.
Isn't it weird going to zoos now and you realize
I feel so sad for them.
they're kind of caged animals, but
Very sad.
some of them don't know anything different because they're born in captivity, and
Yes, it's
but
definitely
they actually have probably a better life than
They
in some
do.
ways.
and then they don't. So, but I also feel the same about animals I see out in the wild. Like, do they have enough food or water?
Yeah, you do get a little squirrely on that. What do you guys have like a water trough? You guys put feed out for animals at your house now?
Yes.
You guys have
Yep.
what?
I have
8 chickens, 12 chickens, how many?
We have 9 chickens right now.
9 chickens, 3 dogs,
2 cats.
2 cats.
And then I have
How many bird feeders do you have?
have 3 hummingbird feeders, 2 finch feeders, and then I have a trash can filled with bird seed that I throw seed out like outside our fence line for
Just in the bushes for the birds.
the birds, the squirrels, the bunnies, the chipmunks, anybody who wants it.
You guys also grew a vegetable garden that other animals took advantage of.
Yes, we had squirrels invade one of the raised bed garden.
So you feed them to come feed at your place, but then you get...
No, I fed them outside the fence.
Yeah, because they know what a fence is.
Just the food's over there.
So
No
you
water.
lure the whole colony in,
No.
and then you guys get frustrated because they raid your garden.
No.
This is classic. And then what else do you guys
I have a 40-gallon horse trough, so I fill it with water. And then Mike just got me, because I requested a heating element so the water doesn't freeze in the winter. And then a trail cam so I could watch the animals come and drink the water.
And you guys live on a couple acres outside of, I guess it's still in Dayton, Nevada, which is a smaller city outside of Carson City.
4 acres. It's in Dayton, but it's in a county that's not typically Dayton, Story County. So it's a nice perk because Lyon County is the majority of Dayton, and Story County is smaller and easier to deal with county necessities. And we're like 10 minutes from Virginia City, Nevada.
Got it. Well, I do want to get to what you do for work, but first I want to stick with some childhood stuff.
Okay.
Can you tell us about your mom and your dad, siblings?
Okay.
I don't necessarily need like a full family tree layout, but
Sure.
sometimes it can get hard to track all of it.
So my dad is Brian Behringer. He was a firefighter for 25 years. Look, I said I wouldn't cry. He passed away in 2015. My mom is Teresa Behringer, and she was a nurse. And hold on, I'm sorry.
Don't need to be sorry.
I just miss Grandpa. I wish you could interview him.
Me too.
He'd be very proud of you. Anyway, so my mom is Teresa Behringer, and she was a nurse when I was growing up. And they met because my dad was teaching nursing students and flight attendant students, and they called them stewardesses back then. And they were typically female, so he was teaching them fire safety. So he was teaching fire safety classes, and he met Grandma.
Who's Teresa?
Who is Teresa Behringer. And then before they got married, they were married to other people. So my dad was married to Helen, and I don't know what her maiden name is. And he had 2 children, Gus and Tara. And then my mom was married to Bill Murphy, and he was a sheriff for LA County. And she had Kim. And so they divorced those people and met each other during that training, and then they got married, and they had me.
So Gus and Tara. Hermine's name is Tara?
Her name is Tara.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
I had no clue.
So she was born Tara Behringer.
Didn't know that.
She changed her name later on in life when she got into a Subud religion.
Oh, what?
Subud.
Oh.
I don't know anything about it, but I just know that happened. So
Wow, I had no idea.
She picked the name Hermine. Interesting.
Yeah, it's wild. I had no clue. And
That's
so Gus and Hermine is what I knew her as.
Uh-huh.
Legal birth name, I guess, was Tara.
Yes.
Kim, those are all your half siblings.
Correct.
When you were born, did Gus and Hermine live with you guys?
No, they came to visit
From where?
from Helen's house.
And did Helen live in London at the time?
No.
Or England?
No, they moved there. Helen met somebody, I can't think, Neil. His name was Neil, and she married Neil. And Neil moved them to London
Got it.
when I was 5 or so.
So most of your childhood you grew up with Kim.
Kim
And then
and Bill.
Gus and Hermine would come visit.
Yes.
Summers or school breaks kind of thing?
They would come. I did not see Gus and Hermine from 5 years old to 16.
Wow.
Not once.
Really?
Had
That
zero
must have been tough
contact
for Grandpa,
with him.
not seeing his kids for
Very tough for him.
11 years.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't see them the whole time either?
He didn't see him the whole time.
Wild. Another thing I didn't know. And then at 16, did they just say, hey, we want to go back and visit Dad?
No. I probably shouldn't. Maybe let Grandma talk about why they came back. Yeah?
Well, why do you
want to
think?
know?
Of course, we all want to
Okay.
know. You're almost 60 years old, I think, that spilled milk.
Helen sued Grandpa for back child support. He wasn't paying child support because she took him to London and wouldn't let her see him. Is the story I know.
Got it.
So that kind of introduced them because they were in court. They came back to like testify or whatever.
Wow. So if they didn't do the lawsuit, then there's potential like Grandpa just would have never seen his kids again?
Possibly, yes.
It's so crazy. Thinking about, by the time I remember Gus and Hermine, it just seemed like a total normal thing. You guys talking about trips to Tahoe and being like teenagers
Sure.
and whatnot together. And
It was definitely different. For me, like to only have Kim, who, was the only sibling I had in my life. So it was, Gus actually moved back when that all took place, and Hermine stayed in London. And he was very upset with his mom for what happened, and Hermine was kind of like on the fence. So he actually moved in with us and lived with us in Simi Valley on Morley Street
wow.
when I was 16.
And when did Grandma stop being a nurse? Because she stopped being a nurse, so.
She did, and I want to say
I mean, I can ask her.
mid 80s, something like that, somewhere around there. She got
So
her
you were
real
an
estate.
adult?
I was an adult.
Or close to. Do
Yes. She started being a real estate agent.
you know why she stopped being a nurse?
I don't know. I know she,
We'll find out on the episode with
yeah,
Tracy Behringer.
her episode. I can't presume to know exactly why. Just what kids are told.
Yeah. So then you met the infamous Mike Barona.
I did.
And
met.
when did you guys meet? How old were you?
I was 15.
And that makes him 20.
One.
So you were 15, he was 21.
No, he was 20. I met him when I was 15 and a half.
Got it. And then where'd you meet him?
It's funny, I don't remember. It was a party. I don't remember.
Just a house party?
Yes, they just had kegger parties or whatever, so people would just go and hang out at somebody's house. And he knew friends. I hung out with 3 friends in high school at that time. Ray Lagos, John Jensen, and Brenda Tiselli. And Brenda was my best friend at the time. And they all knew Mike Barona. And then it turned out, so I met Mike Barona, but Mike Barona and Jim Schooler knew each other. And my first boyfriend, I had a boyfriend before I met your dad, Mike Barona, Bruce Dubois. And he knew Jim Schooler, so I had met Jim Schooler when I was dating Bruce Dubois.
Got it.
Also at 15.
So then you met Mike, who's my dad, and then 15 and a half, and fast forward, within 2 years, you were pregnant with Melanie.
17.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay, so let's hear real quick. Give us a rundown of what it was like when, one, you found out, and then two, you had to tell your parents.
So when I found out, I was still a senior in high school. And then your dad and I talked about getting married because we were going to have a baby. So it wasn't like a proposal or anything. It's like, you're pregnant, we should just get married. So we told Grandma and Grandpa, and they were very mad. At the time.
What did you tell them?
That
You just said, hey, we're going to get married?
I'm pregnant and I'm going to marry Mike Barona.
Oh, you told them both?
Yes. And they were not happy. And at the time, Mike Barona he rented a room out of this guy's house off of Sycamore. And so they were like, if you're going to do that, then do it on your own. We're not any part of anything. So I moved into that room with him and lived there for like a month and a half. And then Grandma came to me and said, I want to be a part of it. I don't want
Okay,
you
so you
to.
told Grandma and Grandpa, you
Yes.
told your parents.
Yes.
They were
I
not
basically
happy.
got
They
kicked out.
completely disagreed with all of your decisions.
Yes.
They were not a fan of Mike Barona.
No.
Then they said, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it on your own.
Yes.
Kicked you out of the house, essentially. And then you went and shared the room with him.
Shared a room with
And then a
him.
month or two later, Grandma came knocking and said, whoops, actually, I do want to be involved.
Yes.
Okay. Then?
And then we rented one of your Grandpa Barona, Attilio Barona's house on Apricot. So we moved from that room to that house on Apricot. And because I was so young.
Was that the little house?
No, the big house.
On the same lot?
On the same lot. That little house didn't exist when we lived there.
Got it.
So because I was so young and I didn't have like a religion, we were going to get married at the Lutheran church on Cochrane in between the two Tapos. That pastor or minister or whatever they are said, I'm not marrying somebody who's under 18. And so July 28th, 1986, we went to the Little White Chapel in Las Vegas with Leo and Ardell, Mike Barona's parents, and April Parfett's parents, and I can't think of their name.
Jack and Tony.
Jack and Tony. And April is Dave Barona's, or at the time was Dave Barona's wife. And then your dad and I, and we got married at the Little White Wedding Chapel.
No Brian Behringer, no Teresa Behringer.
No, this was literally a logistic to get to be married so that we could have a wedding on August 9th,
Got it.
1986. So it was just a quick trip before the actual wedding.
Okay.
And then we had a wedding at Dave Barona's house. My uncle Filippo happened to own a restaurant at the time, and he catered it. Zia Clea and Zia Laura did the flowers, and they are Elio Attilio's sisters, Baronas, or Ambrosini's.
Your husband at the time's aunts.
Yep. And we had a wedding in Dave's backyard on August 9th. And
All while you were
pregnant
17
and pregnant with Melanie.
Yeah. Were you scared?
Sure.
Or did you not fully like understand the
I,
magnitude of the situation?
no. The most scared I was when I brought Melanie home. Because I'd never even babysat a baby. So I was scared to like not know what to do.
So August 9th, was that after what would have been your senior year? Or was that before your senior year would have started?
No, that was after the senior year. Like I completed 12th grade.
Got it. And then, did you work?
I worked at Olympic Stereo and Video, and they sold stereo equipment and for autos, and then a little bit of home, and then they rented videos. At the time, that was like a very new thing, renting VHS.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they had like a little tiny section that they rented videos. They kind of dipped into that.
And what was their maternity leave policy?
There was none. There was none. So then I didn't work for a little bit because I was feeling sick. I was getting morning sickness. And I got a very short job at Thrifty's, being a cashier, and the morning sickness kind of took over, and so I didn't work anymore until after I had Melanie.
So Melanie was born February 19, 87. You had just turned 18 a couple months before that.
Correct.
And now you guys are at the hospital. What was going through your mind when you left with Melanie?
I was scared.
You said you've never babysat, you've never been around a baby. Was Grandma there with you?
Yes. And both your grandparents, or grandmothers.
And this was, what's Melanie? Melanie's the second grandkid, correct?
Yes. There was Christopher, and then
I mean the other side. There was
Oh.
Nick. Nick is older than Melanie, right?
Yes. Second grandkid on my side.
Yep. And then
She was the
second as
first.
well? On the
She
Barona
was the
side?
third, but she was the first girl.
Got it.
Chris and
Chris
Danny,
and Danny, and then
and
Melanie.
then Melanie.
So, whatever, I know that we're talking almost 40 years ago, 38 years ago coming up,
39 coming up.
39 coming up. So, what you can remember, what was it like coming home? You got tiny little Melanie. I mean, we've both lived with Mike Barona. We know he's not jumping at the bit to get in and change a diaper, address a crying child. Like,
No, yeah. I definitely relied on my mother-in-law and my mom to help me figure it out. I remember vividly saying to the nurse, how will I know when to feed her? And, you know, what is someone going to tell me how to like make the formula, because I didn't breastfeed. So, and I didn't breastfeed because I was a child and I was scared and I heard all the horror stories that, it was painful and hard. And so I just gave you guys formula.
yeah, different times. I mean, this was before really the vast or widely spread internet and
Sure. communication
information was
wasn't
only
yes.
what the elders passed on or your friends.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So Melanie comes home crying. What was it like? Were you still not working, trying to figure out how to do this thing? And then Grandma Ardell and Grandma Teresa were
Right.
just
They,
there, like on and off, kind of
yes.
each day, kind of.
Coming by, and really Grandma Ardell was the most help because she didn't work, so she was able to help. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about being 17, 18, having a kid.
It was.
No experience.
No experience.
No help from your significant other
No
on the
help.
care side. I mean, financially,
Sure.
yes, but
Absolutely financially helped, except that things got tough in the winter. But yeah, definitely no like care helps.
yeah, crazy. Kind of hard to process being that young.
Yeah, when I look at it now, it's how did I do it? But if I saw an 18-year-old little girl right now, I would think that's too hard for her to do.
Well, yeah, it is completely irresponsible seeming.
Truly.
But how old was your mother when she had her first child, who was Kim?
18.
18. So it's funny to look back at,
Yes.
You could label it as hypocrisy or denial, but the moment you coming in and saying, hey, I'm having a kid, I'm marrying this guy that you probably don't like, and I don't know what
He's just
Teresa's parents felt
Sure.
about the bill.
right.
Oh.
I mean, there's a whole story behind Bill too.
So everybody has their things,
Mm-hmm.
but pretty crazy. So then I came along a couple years after.
Yes.
Two
We
and
actually
change.
tried to have a baby after, and I couldn't get pregnant. And then we thought, well, because we're trying to have a baby, we'll just stop trying for a minute. And then we went to Mazatlan with Jeff Livingston, who we called Fish, and his girlfriend Danine at the time. And I felt terribly sick there. And we just thought it was like you get sick from drinking the water there or whatever. And then I came back and found out I was pregnant with you.
So you're partying while I was growing.
No,
Nice.
I was 20.
Yeah, love that.
I was 20 in Mexico.
Yeah. Just drinking water, staying hydrated.
Just drinking water.
And now you fast forward and you have kids with kids and your grandma, and
Yeah.
it's funny to reflect back on the things you viewed your parents as,
Truly.
whether it's disagreeing with what they did with you or the support they did or didn't give you,
Right.
and then you living your life as a parent and then now doing the same thing to us. You're less vocal about it, obviously, but you want us to be the parents to our kids and you're going to be the grandparent.
Mm-hmm.
But it is different.
It is.
It's different for
It's a different world too.
a different timing. Yep, definitely different world.
And you broke the chain of, being a little reckless and not planning out. You both broke the chain. And
Yeah, but we'll see what happens on
the flip
the
side.
next generation. And but it is cool to look back. I mean, now experiencing the tough times of having small children and as they're growing up. I mean, Addie just turned 8, Henry's 5, which is not that old, but some of the longest nights are behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Of the newborn phase and the terrible 3s or 2s, and to think about myself being 18 like you and grandma. It's hard to think that I would have been able to do it, but you kind of just rise up, right? I mean,
You have to.
it's the same whether you're 20 or 30 or 40, it's like, well, you have a child now and
You have a responsibility.
there's really no alternate plan.
And you guys were all that mattered.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Yes.
And
still,
I'm
you
super
still
lucky
are.
I have Audrey.
Yes.
I mean, it's not as lucky as she is to have me, but I mean, Melanie goes through this whole raising a kid solo too all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. Jeez.
I know. But
I can't wait. When Jason sees this, he's going to love that.
look,
You're all, yeah, she's doing this thing solo.
no, but it's just being firefighters, right? Like that's what I was going for when he was on shift before he got the schedule he got. She was alone watching just like Audrey does when you guys are on long shifts.
It's very hard.
It is hard.
And I think it may even be harder today just due to, I don't know what you want to call it, like the societal change of kind of co-parenting and more having like an equal slice of the pie when it comes to responsibilities and duties.
Mm-hmm.
Where your parents, even you, is like, well, the man will work and the woman will care for the child. So when the man is working, don't bother him. He is working and earning his.
But I never was raised, I mean, it was typically like that, but both my parents had professional careers. So did I.
Yeah.
Before you were born, I went to work for Prudential Healthcare to get insurance. Melanie was a little baby and had gotten like a terrible flu and needed to get an IV of fluid. And it was some ridiculous amount of money that it was like $600 or something at the time. Was crazy. And they had to put an IV in her head because she was a little baby, and that's where they could get a vein or whatever to put fluid. So that's when I decided, I need to find a job that I could get good insurance. And that's when I went to work for Prudential Healthcare.
A lot of sacrifices made. Well, we're going to go, let's just keep going down this track and we'll catch your career later. But
Okay.
So Dad, Mike Barona,
Mm-hmm.
construction, mostly concrete, hardscape, bricks, that kind of stuff.
Yes, Mason.
Brought home, he was a breadwinner, brought home most of the money, but you kind of alluded to it earlier, is the winter time would hit.
Mm-hmm.
And you're typically not doing a bunch of concrete work when it's raining.
Mm-mm.
Or muddy, all the pieces. So then he wouldn't work.
He wouldn't work.
And without work is no money.
I had money. Without work, I mean, I worked at Prudential. So I went to work at Prudential when I was 19.
But it still was one less salary.
Oh, yes. We struggled. We had to get help from, and it was typically Ardell who helped us. She would go to the store and buy groceries and formula and show up and stock up our kitchen for us, because it was a struggle for sure.
And was that pretty much clockwork as far as the wintertime would hit, work would slow down for him?
Yes.
It's crazy. These are all the little pieces that I don't remember being, there's not really a reason I'd be told that, but just hearing stories over the years.
And he wasn't a participator, so when he wasn't working, he wasn't at home helping me. He was out hanging out with his friends.
Yep.
So it was another stressor.
Yeah. Well, it's funny talking to Grandpa Leo, Mike's dad, over the years. Obviously, you living my own life with him. There's always been that little, whatever works best for Mike, let's do that.
Yeah.
And some of the stories are funny, and then the other ones are just hard and sad. But thinking of those financial hardships and kind of going back to Ardell coming by to help out, he would still go do his thing.
Absolutely.
Which is wild.
Absolutely.
And you were making some money. There was help coming in, and still just go get some beers, party with the boys, come home late to one, soon to be two kids. Yeah, wild. Can't believe it didn't work out. Weird. So I'm trying to remember when I was born, did we live at Hawk Street?
No, we lived on Hyder, 2211 Hyder.
And then we moved to Hawk shortly after. A year or two.
Yeah.
And then that's when the earthquake hit.
94.
January 94.
Yep.
And then 94 is also when you guys split up.
Yeah.
Or maybe 95.
No, I think it was 95.
Kindergarten.
95.
So divorce number 1.
Yes.
Now you've re-entered the solo parenting phase for real.
Yes. And I got, so my brother Gus lived with his girlfriend Terry at the Sinaloa Villas off Sinaloa, these little condo apartment type things. And it was because I had a decent job at Prudential. I had made enough money to be able to rent that and pay the utilities. And it was the first time I ever had my own, which I was 27, my own bank account, my access to the money, because your dad always had access to all the money. So even though I was married for 10 years, from 17 to 27 to him, I never had any money. I never had a debit card or paid a bill or did anything. He was responsible for all the money, and if I ever needed money, I had to ask him. So that was the first time I was ever financially doing anything on my own, ever, at 27. So it was pretty exciting for me. I was very excited to live in that place and write my first check for a bill, and all those things were pretty exciting for me at the time.
I remember, that's probably one of my earlier memories too, is when we went there and had stairs.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to mom's house, it had stairs. Mm-hmm. It was a big place.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
It felt fancy to me.
Yeah, it was big. But now, being who I am, you know, about 36 years old, even now, if I were to be a single parent, it would be, well, one, I'd have to get a different job. And then two, it'd be a real struggle.
It was a struggle.
I mean, outside of financially, like we have some friends that have recently split up, and I know we've had conversations about it, and it's not something you can expect your kids to, I don't want to say sympathize for or empathize at that age, for sure.
Sure.
But looking back, like, wow, do I now? It's pretty cool that you were able to once again rise up. But man, that must have been tough.
It was tough.
Just not even seeing your kids half the time.
That was really tough.
Yeah, like all money aside, all that stuff, you're just half the time gone.
That, and because when we first split up, we were doing 2 days on, 2 days off. But it was a very ugly split up because of the person he married and was with. So,
well, let's just say it as it is.
Yes.
He cheated on you with at the time, one of your best friends.
Yes.
And then married that person.
And who was also your child care.
And who also ran both of the children's child care.
Yes.
So there was...
first 6 months was pretty ugly because of the divorce and the split up, and then Melanie was older than you, so she was affected more mentally about Carol, my ex-best friend, being close with your dad and being at his house all, you know. So I chose to leave you in Kids and Things intentionally so that you didn't have to experience your parents being apart and being in a different daycare. And I left you there for 6-7 months. So that was very difficult to walk into the school and pick you up and see the person who was my best friend, who is now with my soon-to-be ex-husband, because it took like 6 months to get divorced. But and everything was very ugly and contentious, and as much as I tried to make it easy, there was a lot of anger on, you know, I'll do whatever I want, that kind of thing. And then I sent you guys to Boys and Girls Club. After enough time had passed, I didn't want that control over me, because it was all a whole thing of just being in control of what I could and couldn't do. And so I did wait for a very decent length of time. And when I divorced him, I didn't have any money, and he was trying to make me pay child support because he worked under the table with his dad in his business. And so because on paper I made more money than him at Prudential, he was trying to be just difficult as he did. So.
Seems so out of the ordinary for him.
And then,
yeah.
then getting you to Boys and Girls Club was a cost for me. So that was the other thing. I wasn't paying for childcare. We never had, because your dad was doing work over there to trade for childcare.
He was doing work, all right. So
now living in the Sinaloa villas in our own place. And it was a 2-bedroom, and I was going to put you both in the side room, and we all 3 stayed in one room together the entire time we lived there. And it was like a playroom.
Yeah.
You guys didn't want to sleep.
It's crazy how much I could remember that place. It'd be cool to go back there and see if it's got to be the same.
I'm sure
layout,
the layouts,
new
and
carpet
stuff.
or something, but yeah, thinking about, I remember Boys and Girls Club. I remember it being a bummer.
Having to go there.
Yeah, just because it was different.
Yeah.
You didn't know like the kids or like the teachers or counselors, and
I know. That's why I didn't.
But
do
it was
right
a cool
away.
spot. I just remember like all the big rooms and basketball courts and
a lot of engagement of just opportunity to do different things.
Yeah, I know. With Addison and Henry, we walk by what's called Adventure Club here, and it's same style thing. It's like a before school and after school club, right? Hangout, daycare. Mm-hmm. And they're always like, why don't we go there? Why don't we do this? And these kids just don't get it. Oh my guys, I remember getting dropped off before school to before school care.
Yeah.
And getting picked up after the workday. Like 5, 6 o'clock sometimes, mostly with when I was with Dad.
Definitely.
But just remembering kind of, the little bits and pieces of getting up early, going to the place, then going to school, and then going back to the place after, and then coming home. And all I wanted to do was to go home after school.
Yeah. You were still pretty young.
No, I know. But all your friends would their mom or dad would pick them up. And
watching them leave, it's so sad.
Yeah, I don't know if it was sad. It was just something that I wanted to do.
Sure.
And it's probably the same with them. They want to do it because they're not doing it. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward, it's we just joked about it the other day, but go the entire life of being a child with Dad, and it's hey, no house key. You can't come in the house. When you're here, knock on the door. We'll come let you in. And I think about with my kids, I'm that's crazy to me that to just not have free range to your own home, unless you break the trust of sort.
That's different.
And Melanie was definitely more of a trust breaker with her extracurricular activities as a kid, lie to your face kind of thing.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, I had good grades, I was in sports. Sure, I pushed the envelope a little bit, but for the most part, I stuck to the rules as far as be home by this time, come in when the street lights come on, that whole thing at both houses, which built trust and then allowed more flexibility with my schedule and activities I probably shouldn't be doing. You guys were like more like, we'll just kind of turn a blind eye until you mess up.
Yeah.
So just another total bizarre piece to it.
You haven't even gotten to the second marriage.
Yeah. So then, we're at 45 minutes here. We'll go for an hour.
Okay.
So then, you lived at that condo, which is still just amazing. Prudential, working, kids half the time. Now you're paying for daycare, and then you meet husband number 2, who is Jeff Acup.
Correct.
He was a Mel Gibson doppelganger.
Yes, but more cowboy.
Yeah, the cowboy version of Mel Gibson.
Yes.
And where did you meet Jeff?
So I actually met Jeff at Kids and Things, dropping his son off. It was the first time I met him. So I had only just picked up you from Kids and Things, and he was there picking up Dylan, his son Dylan. So it was like 7 months after I had left your dad and was living alone, because it wasn't long after I met him that I moved you guys out of there.
Got it.
So I want to say I probably met him, 5 months, hi. He came up and said, "Hi, my name's Jeff. What's your name?" And I said, "It's Corrine." He said, "Nice to meet you." And that was it. And then I would see him every day when I pick you guys up.
Just would line up at the same time.
Just walking into the front room to go pick up. And he would say, "Hi, Corrine, how are you?" And I always just thought in my head, this guy pronounces my name right. No one says Corrine. They say, Corinne or whatever, or they just forget. So that just stuck in my head. And every day he was there picking up his kid, and for months, like 3 months. And one day out in the parking lot, he asked me for my phone number. I was wondering if I could take you out on a date sometime. And he took my phone number.
Was this a cell phone or a landline?
It had to be a landline.
Yeah, I don't think there were cell phones.
There were no cell phones.
Crazy.
Yeah. He was very polite and respectful.
Yeah.
Not something that I was used to, so it was very
I remember him being structured and
very structured,
mannered,
very clean,
formal,
and very very similar to how you live. Like, you wash the dish after,
Well, I think that's just normal people. Normal people they finish dinner and then they clean the dishes. You wait till the next day.
No, or just
you and Melanie are like, let's just wait till Friday.
Let me rephrase that.
On Friday.
Everything has a place.
Yeah.
There's not anything laying around.
Type A. Yeah.
Type A. Yeah.
So then, boom, you guys date. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, you guys end up getting married. His son Dylan, who is a year or two younger than me.
3 years. You guys were just under 3 years, each of you.
Got it. So yeah, then we moved into. See if I can remember this.
Oh, I'm gonna remember.
I don't remember the first place. I remember Blackwell Drive.
That's the first place.
What was the place, like the little brown house on the corner?
Mineral Wells. No.
Mineral Wells.
Blackwell
was
is
the first
brown
place.
house.
Mineral Wells was in the Texas.
The house we bought together.
Yep. Okay, so wow, proud of myself pulling that.
Look at you, Blackwell Drive. I was like, I'm gonna remember, and you're all Blackwell Drive. I was like, yes, that's the home.
Yeah, I remember that was when you had the Geo Metro still.
Yes.
And he had the single cab with the shell.
Red F-250.
Yep. Okay, yeah. So he was he was a mechanic
Yes.
for
A
Chevron.
diesel mechanic for Chevron.
Mechanic. And well, I'll speak first. I remember Jeff taught me quite a few things. He's the one that introduced me to guns, firearms, hunting.
Yes.
In some ways, I could definitely, he could be the reason why I am type A. Some of it's nature, some of it's nurture, but just that time of your life. So it's probably 7.
97 is when.
Yeah, so 7. That's when you guys got married?
It's when I met him.
Oh.
Now, actually, mid 96 is when I met him. We got married in May 23rd, 1997.
Whoa, that was a fast turnaround.
It was. I only dated him for like 8 months, and we got married.
Yeah, but you're also older in life. It's not like the whole like.
Yeah, I was
Let's
28
wait
when I
5 years.
married him.
Yeah. So.
Also, he
married
was
in 98. So yeah, I was 7.
97. 97.
Okay. So 6, 7 years old. Melanie's 9, 10-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dylan was only 3 or 4.
Yeah, he was a little baby. I mean, not a baby, but
Yeah.
little.
I mean, he was. Think about that now. That's the same
super
as
young.
Addie. That'd be like me remarrying somebody right now, Addison's age.
Yes.
Which, looking back at, for both Melanie and I, is a pretty moldable
Truly.
time of life. So then you guys married for how long?
7 years.
7 years. So that brings us up to like 04. Yeah, I know you're doing the age math.
I know. I'm like, what?
So in that time, we moved up to the Texas track. That got me up to middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? What happened? Why'd you guys split?
He cheated on me.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
That's fucked.
And it was the one thing he knew.
Yeah, 0 tolerance policy. See ya.
That was just like the one thing I can't accept.
Trust.
Truly, I mean, yeah.
So that brings us to 2004, and we were living in the Texas tract all together. I remember we go on camping trips. It was also the first time we had like trailers, Toby had trailers. He had his Smoking the Bandit car.
We split up. It had to be 96 because I split up with Jeff in 2002.
Mm.
So I think it was like 6 and change married to him.
Okay.
I know for sure it was 2002 because it was after 9/11, 2001. It was the year after that happened.
Got it. Okay, so 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to remember from Mineral Wells house. So now you just had divorce number 2.
So that,
going back out on your own.
yes.
And then where was the next place?
So the money so we made money off of that house.
Mm-hmm.
He was type A. We were very, even though we had separate bank accounts our entire marriage, we were set up like debt free, and made money off of that house. So I took my half of those proceeds and I bought the house at 5216 Mildred.
Mm.
And it was a 5-bedroom house. So I could buy the house. I had the money to put down and purchase it. I just didn't make enough to pay the full mortgage on my own and still live and do all the things, right? I had the money to pay the mortgage, but then, you still have to have
Yeah, you have growing kids that
all the things,
have no
right?
clue what's going on really and want stuff.
Yes. And do you want to stop?
No, we're good.
At the time, friends of ours were getting divorced as well.
Who?
Patricia and Mike Cosentino.
And we met them through
Chevron.
Extracurriculars, but through Chevron and Jeff.
Yep, we camped together. They were actually already split up, going through a little bit of an ugly divorce, and Mike got custody of Nicole, and so he needed a place to live, and I asked if he wanted to rent there because I thought he's a decent human being. My kids know him, so it's not like I would be in. You knew Nicole, and he said he would rent 2 rooms there, and it was perfect. It was perfect, and it sounds mean, but it was perfect because he could do all the guy stuff, fix things because it needed fixed. There were things that needed to be fixed and done.
I remember. Yeah, it was a smoker house.
It was an awful home.
Yeah.
But so things needed to be done. So, yeah. We moved in there, and we were just friends, and I know my mom was not happy. Like, who's this guy living in your house? I'm like, we're not dating. My dad called him the lodger because that was his nickname for a very long time. And he apparently asked you guys permission to date me, or to ask me to go on a date after whatever amount of time it was, because one day I came home from work. You and Melanie were at your dad's, and there's Mike and Nicole, and he had put all this, which I still have, a string of heart lights in the living room. And Grandma and Grandpa had bought solar tubes for the house, like these circular light,
Like skylights.
skylights,
Like tubes.
and he put little pink tissue over it. And she was standing there with a bouquet of flowers and a balloon. And he was standing next to her, and I walked in the door, and he said, "Will you go on a date with me?" And she was crying, like, "Say yes." It was very sweet.
Yeah, but man, there's like not really an opportunity to say no.
And I was like,
good move.
It was smart. It was smart.
Just crush a little girl. No.
Truly, I think it was living with Mike and seeing the character that he had, and that he wasn't pushy. And I had said a million times, I'm never getting married ever again. So know that my kids come first. Good, my kid comes first. That was like a very staunch, that's a deal breaker. So when he did eventually ask, we still waited 2 years after he asked me to marry him, and I said yes in Cabo San Lucas, which he had already asked you guys and my parents. Because he proposed out on the beach in Cabo San Lucas, and we were there with Manny and Stacy. He's like, let's go back to the room and call your parents and call the kids. And so we did. He had already cleared it with everyone. And then we stayed engaged for 2 more years. Because I had reason to be gun shy.
Yeah, it's called PTSD.
I had PTSD. Marriage doesn't work out for me. People aren't good.
It's crazy because I don't remember the story like that.
Really?
Yeah. I remember the Jeff split up. I remember the Mildred house. Mm-hmm. I remember being suspended from school and having to help Mike. I remember all these pieces.
I don't remember you being suspended from school.
Yeah. And then I remember I was at April's house, that little house that she bought that was
catty corner from Dave and Irma.
Yeah, kind of. It was like
I mean,
their yards
truly,
were like
their
kind of
yards
close,
were
but the streets were
touching-ish.
different and stuff.
Right.
But I remember being there, and I don't remember why we were there. Probably you were just getting your nails done or something by her. And I remember talking to Melanie and being like, "Hey, you think Mom left Jeff for Mike?" And I remember having this conversation with Melanie, and you heard us, and you laid into us
Because that's
hard.
because
You laid into us hard, and I was like, "Whoa! I haven't seen Mom explode like that. Maybe ever."
Really?
Yeah.
I don't
And
remember.
I'll
laying
never
into-
forget that. I was like, "Whoa!" And you were livid. I mean, rightfully so to be irritated, right? And
Well,
I can't imagine all the emotions that you're going through, and then all of a sudden some little punk ass kids come in there. Your
my
kids.
babies.
Dude, I think Mom left Jeff.
Listen.
Because,
When I'm going to give you a little story.
well, hold on, but
Okay, go
just to
ahead.
close it out. So, because we viewed it as Mike and Jeff were good friends.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know now as far as like being adults and having coworkers that you're close with and,
Yes.
and all these things, it's not as clear.
Mm-hmm.
But from our perspective, it was like, oh, Mike and Jeff are really good friends. And then
Truly, I could see the optics of it all.
Mike was the one that was like, hey,
He told.
I just
He
got to spill.
told.
Yeah.
I can't see somebody. His thing was, you're so kind and giving and dedicated to your husband, and he's just out there.
Yeah, go on a hunting trip and he's just cheating on you
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh,
But-
like bragging about washing his clothes really quick so that I didn't smell people's. Yeah, just. I know.
Yeah, horrific stuff, which just goes to show, obviously, the character of Mike as well, because that's not easy.
No.
And you're putting your nose where you shouldn't,
Yeah.
for the most part. But
Yes.
that shows Mike's character. We don't know all that stuff as kids, right?
Sure.
We're just like, dude, that's Jeff's buddy.
I know.
And now
what
that
do you
he's
think?
gonna live with us. This is wild.
This is
We
like.
think mom. And
Sure.
man, you hit us hard.
I probably did hit
I would
you
be
hard.
so curious to ask Melanie this. See if she remembers this.
I can't wait.
We'll give it a few more minutes and we can.
That's fine. When I was married to Jeff, your dad hit Melanie because she accidentally hit his face when she was hitting you.
Yep. I remember this.
Yes. So I didn't know I was going to get him in trouble. Like, all I cared about was don't hit my kid. It was awful.
Yeah.
And
Let's hear the big old bruise on the side of her boob. And,
huge bruise. And the way she told me, please don't tell him. And I was like, what? And I called him and he was like, I can do whatever I want to my kids, right? I just wanted it documented. I didn't know they were going to go do something. But
Yeah, child abuse is still a serious thing.
I didn't understand that. Like,
You did the right thing, but go.
Totally. But so, and Jeff and I got in a huge fight over that. But I had to protect my child. You guys came first. So 4 months, I had to still try not to ever disparage your dad, because I never wanted to disparage your dad or Carol in front of you guys. I hope that I maintain that, because it wasn't for you as a kid, right? And the same thing as teenagers. But he told you I made him use his life savings. You would come home and you were so upset, like Addison.
Oh yeah.
Addison coming home, you made him use all his life savings. Now Mommy doesn't have any money. I can't believe you did that. Why'd you do that to my dad? I didn't make him use his life savings. I had to protect Melanie. It was brutal. So this is why I know you know now, but this is why I didn't have these conversations with you. Hey, guess what?
Which I
did.
appreciate that so much more now than back then,
Sure.
obviously. And obviously Dad was not
The same.
the same. He had no problem throwing shade anywhere.
Of course.
As long as the light was not on him, he was fine to point it elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to bring up how hard that is.
I
refrain.
can kind of imagine, but until you live that,
Until you're a parent and
you're trying to justify something in the most, kid correct way possible.
Yeah.
Well, then to go forward on the Jeff train is Jeff like wasn't that fun to live with as a kid.
Yeah, he was very strict.
He was very strict. He like could be fun, and then man, that light switch flipped, and it was like not fun.
Yeah.
And at the time, it wasn't as obvious, and when we joke about it now, but
Yeah.
Dylan, he just learned things slower.
Sure.
It was like a learning disability, but he wasn't
On the
probably
spectrum.
diagnosed as autistic
Sure.
or something, but may have been a little bit.
Truly.
And so he would do extracurricular like learning activities, and there was just a resentment
Yes.
built up toward me for not having that.
Correct.
And arguably being like maybe a little bit more advanced than the average kid, just the way things came and learn and
Oh yeah.
grades and
Yeah. You're still
whatever it was.
You're still
Athleticism, it was just like a little bit more, but it seemed like a big gap because of Dylan and then
deficit
me
and yes.
in the same house. So looking back on it, it is funny to like tease about, grab the wrong cereal box and get lit up, or what was the other, the coffee pot?
Yeah, he's messing with my coffee pot.
Yeah, and some of these things just like, I could not imagine living in a home with somebody else's child, right? From
Sure.
Jeff's perspective,
Sure.
and trying to balance, like, not that he did or didn't, but like balancing the punishment or correction,
Truly.
and then you stepping in, like trying to be
I like
mature about it, and like, hey, like wait till the kids are out of here, and then we're gonna have a real conversation.
Yes.
But it was
not all peaches and cream for sure.
no, but we did have good times.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So then after that divorce, then you cheated on. I mean, you didn't cheat on him. You left him for his best friend. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Look
Relax.
at what are you saying?
Then boom, Mildred house, Mike. You guys got married. Nicole, who's Mike's daughter, and then was going to be then now our stepsister.
Yep.
So, what year did you guys get married? You guys are coming up on.
06.
You guys are coming up on 20 years.
06, because I remember, because that's what year the pickup truck is.
Got it.
Look at Mom.
Yeah.
What year is the truck? 6.
That's a lot of years to remember. You got a lot of dates.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's happened in
Mikes
my
and
life.
Jeffs and other Mikes.
A lot of Mikes and Jeffs.
So, what do you think?
Can we pause for 2 seconds?
Well, we're going to wrap this up
okay.
in 1 minute.
All right.
There was one question that I thought was really well worded. It was, oh man, give me just a second here.
No problem.
What is one or a couple of unexpected strengths or gifts that you think, this mother, we're just going to call it this time of being a mother, from when Melanie was born to, when you married Mike, Melanie was graduating high school the next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that time frame of just pure chaos.
Yeah.
What are some strengths that came out of that, or like gifts that you never expected you could have learned or gained in that time?
For me personally, or for
Yeah.
Okay.
As Corrine as a person.
It definitely made me more independent and stronger. A gift, I would say, I think I'm proud of myself for being able to move past that former life and former person and go into a marriage with a boundary, but not baggage. Every time I got married, I didn't bring baggage. It was truly the person that I married had more like baggage about, like every husband I've had has always been like, you should be mad. You should be, why aren't you mad? And where I'm like more of a, I feel sorry for him. I felt sorry for your dad. I felt sorry for Jeff. Both your dad and Jeff asked me back and said they would, you know,
Yeah, be better.
I'll change. I'll do anything you want. Please take me back. You're the best person for me, right? I'll leave Carol. We can move to Denver. He said we could move out of state. You know, Jeff did the same thing. I've dated girls. I'm a horrible person. Please, nobody measures up to you. It just makes me feel proud of myself that I don't carry hate or resentment, or like, I know everybody looks at how I lived as tough and hard, and you know, there were definitely a lot of stress and tough and hard times. but
Yeah.
but to what value is it to like sit and stress, and it's funny that I'm saying this to you because you think I'm such a stressor.
Well, you do stress a lot. You worry a lot.
I
Mostly of little
I
things.
care about, like, yeah. I just have a deep caring for people to be happy, and, you know, animals to be safe, and, you know, so if I can do something to make that happen. So just, I guess, so.
Yeah, viewing it more as like lessons learned, move on, make an adjustment, and continue forward.
For sure.
Well, I mean, I don't think I could do that. I definitely think I'd fall in the other category of
Stewing in your own brew.
frustration and anger and stewing, and
I mean, there's moments
pretty
of
hard
like,
to build trust again. And
for sure. I mean, until you break it.
yeah, you got to move on. Life's too short to not move on.
Truly. And what value can you know what I mean? How could I be I guess the gift was that because I had that in me, that I could still try and be the best mom I could to you guys.
And I was going to bring that up as, I mean, we've talked about this a few times, but it's, in a weird way, having young kids was a blessing in that moment for you to create a focal point, you know, something to distract from, you know, the romantic side of your life, and be like, okay, these are my children, and I will do the best for them. Which, I'll speak for Melanie, but obviously, like, we both completely recognize that and appreciate it, but it doesn't mean it's easy.
No.
So, well, we'll pick up after this. Wow.
That's a lot. I know.
Oh, none of it recorded. Just kidding. All right. Well, love you. Thanks for sitting down.
I love you. I love you.
Goodbye.
Bye.